Hi there, it's David Young, the Resourceful Coach, and what we're going to do today is basically just going to play 9 holes. Going to go through a lot of my data and show you what, for me, as a club professional, scratch golfer, what I should be achieving in these conditions. So we're out here today at Corinthians Golf Club. It's a pretty overcast day in November, only about 10 degrees. So there are little things there as we go through. We'll talk about how that's going to affect my golf ball and how I may lose a little bit of distance because of these conditions and make sure I hit a little bit more club. But let's play the 9 holes here. We're going to play all 9 holes, show you what we go through as we go along, give you an idea of what at my level, I should be achieving and whether I'm doing it. Maybe I'm doing a bit better, a bit worse. We'll see what happens. So I've arrived at my tee shot on the first. Didn't mention it on the tee, so let's try and go through each hole as we go through. But the first hole here, 540-yard par 5, quite a sloping fairway left to right, bit of out of bounds on the left. So sort of showing you a little bit what and it's all uphill. Probably plays closer to 600 yards this hole. It's a dead calm day today, but as I said, it is quite cold conditions. So I've got the ball in the fairway, but actually taking a reading back to the tee. This has only gone for me about 225, 230 because of the conditions. Probably going to lose about 10% today. So I said I'd expect it to be 260, probably only 230, 235, lost a little bit. But what I'm going to look at here and just explain is mentally what I want to do. This is, from my data, a dead flat par 5 for me, from my data. So I want to be 25 feet away from the hole after 3 shots. That's my goal. The tee shot may be a little bit short, but I can still get onto that green in 2 more shots and give myself that opportunity. If I don't, maybe I can scramble and get a result that way. So we're going to have to look at the conditions, see how it's going. We're going to get some positives in our favour maybe later as we go along, as it gets a bit warmer. We're only looking now, it's 10 to 9 in the morning on a November morning here in the UK. But let's hit the second shot. Let's see where we go. Well, good thing is we moved it nicely up the fairway. See if we've given ourselves that chance that we can get on that green for 3 shots. So got to where my second shots ended up, again keeping the ball in the fairway, and I think that's a real key thing today on this sort of cold, damp, sort of drizzly day. And what I know is I'm a little bit shorter than I'd like to be, but as we said, we're going to lose about 10%, and over 2 shots that could be now up to 40 yards. So what would be my number? We said 25 feet I'd like to be away after 3. On average, a scratch golfer is hitting a ball from about 100, 120 feet to about 25 feet from the hole. I've got, let's take a reading, I think I'm just behind the 150 mark, although the flag looks at the front. I've got exactly 151 to that flag, okay? Preferred lies, so just explain preferred lies in the UK, what we do. Just using a T-peg on any cut grass, so fairway grass, I can now take that ball, give it a clean, and I can move the ball within 6 inches, anywhere within 6 inches of playing that shot, of where that ball ended up, no nearer the hole. So look at the grass, a little bit better grass there, can pop it there and play. So 151 yards, cold day, that'd probably be a 7-iron, but really damp. I'm going to hit a 6-iron today, okay, because I know that flag's at the front. I can play this, and if I go past the flag, that's absolutely fine. So I'm looking at all these things all the time to play the shot. You're hearing the greenkeeper coming up the right side. I apologise for that, for the thing, but we should be okay. And let's see what we can do with this shot. Tiny little bit heavy. I think we'll just creep onto the front edge, get my divot, replace that. But okay, I mean, it's 3rd shot of the day. A little bit of a warm-up before I came out, but always that feeling of getting into the round of the game. Okay, but we're up near the green. Worst case scenario, I have a little chip, but I think that's crept on the front edge, and we'll probably have a 35, 40 footer, so not far off where I should be after 3 on this par 5. So I didn't quite make the green. Thought that would be plenty of club, and maybe because the stripe wasn't perfect and the wet conditions, it's just come up. What do we got? 1, 2, 3 paces short of the green, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 paces to the hole. Okay, so we're still 9 paces. We're actually not far off our 25 feet. We're just not on the green. So it's a little bit from here. What am I going to do? Well, on average now, I've gone from, if I was 25 feet putting, that would be an average of 2 putts. But from this distance, chipping onto the green in these conditions is probably now a 60% chance I'm going to get it up and down, 40% chance I'm now going to take 3 from here. So I've gone from a par 5 to now it's a 50-50 chance if I'm going to get that 5. Okay, it's now whether I can play that shot. So I'm just looking to pop this onto the edge of the green. I'm just using a little gap wedge. My 52 is what I use. I'm just looking to pop it onto the edge of the green, let it run down to the hole. Let's see what we can get. Okay, well, we've rolled that up stone dead. Okay, let's just grab my putter. I'll never try and putt it in with a wedge. Good. So we got a 5. Again, we've got the greenkeeper right by us. And what we've done there, we've hit a lovely chip onto the green. We've made up for the shots not getting me there. And now we've got our score. We've still got our 5, so I'm happy with that. Let's go play the second, the par 3. So the second hole at Corinthians is 146 yard par 3. For my data, just so you understand, this is a 3.1 hole. So it basically means I'm going to par it 90% of the time. I'm going to bogey it 10% of the time. And I think this is really important. This is really, as we go around today, this is our only par 3 that we're going to play. But people think whatever level they should be parring the hole. If you're an 18 handicap golfer, this is a par 4. If you take a 4, you're okay. You've dropped your shot. With your handicap, you're absolutely fine. But it's realizing that probably from 120 yards in, this is where a scratch golfer is going to take 3 shots or less to get round. Okay? So what's important to understand, even for me, if I bogey this 1 in 10, that's okay. Let's double check the distance we've got though. Take into consideration the conditions. And it's 144, slightly downhill. So that makes it around about 136. But because of the conditions, the damp conditions, I'm going to play it as the 144 number. So I'm taking those ideas in. And this is all experience as you play more. Realize as this ball gets cold, it doesn't fly as well as normal. So I'm going to take my normal club for this distance, which for me is an 8 iron. And just play a nice solid shot with an 8 iron. Let's see what we get. Again, that number, if I'm looking at the number 30 feet or less, I'm in good shape. Well, I struck that as well as I can, so it's online. Well, looking at it from this distance, looks approximately about a flagstick length away. So that's a way better shot than average. I think that's really important to understand. So as I walk down this hole, I'm really happy. I've given myself a little bit of a chance here of a birdie. So I've got to get that inner confidence. I'll be telling myself inside, really happy with that shot. How can that help me to build the confidence up for the next few shots I'm going to play? So really happy with the shot onto the green. First thing I'm going to do, repair my pitch mark. And again, things that are really important to understand. My pitch mark is only probably 3 feet from my ball. In these conditions, as I said, November day, quite soft conditions. Repair everything, but learn how far that ball's run when it's got onto the green. We've got approximately, let's have a look at what we've given ourselves here. 1, 2, 3, 4 paces to the hole. Okay, so we're only looking around about 10 feet. So that's way better than on average I should do for me at this level. So I've probably gained about half a shot. So I've gone from a position where I could, on average, but par this hole 90% of the time. I've now given myself a chance that I've got a 40% chance of birdieing it. That's how nice that tee shot was. Okay, go through my green reading method. So I'm looking at it. I'm trying to find the low point. Looks like the green's running down this way, running away from me here. So it's got to be a right to left downhill putt. So let's see if we can hold it. Let's see if that good tee shot, we can take advantage of it. But again, just get the speed right. See what happens. Again, if we make a par, that's still gaining a little bit on what we should have done standing on the tee. Oh, I thought I'd read that perfectly, just hung out there. Still got my putt. Another little tap in, take that. So if we look back at the hole, it was a hole I should par 90% of the time. Well, I parred it, and a 10% chance I could bogey it. I hit a really good tee shot. I just didn't take that advantage of that shot. I didn't take that opportunity. But if we keep doing it, hopefully we will grab some of them. Let's go play the third. So I'm feeling quite good. I've hit some good shots through these early holes. Nice chip on the first to save my par. Really good iron shot into this second hole there. Got another par. Third hole here, only 326, but it's still a hole that on average, I'm probably still going to make a par as a scratch golfer. And really important, this hole. It's a dog leg that goes up. I'm probably only looking for a shot of about 190 off the tee, and then it dog legs down over a pond. It's a really lovely hole. It's my favourite hole on the golf course. And again, what I'm going to do, normally I'd hit a hybrid up here off the tee. I'm actually going to take a fairway wood today just because of the conditions. Don't let your ego get in the way. Really important you start to understand the conditions, how that could affect your shot. And as we go along, we might find the sun breaks through and it's warmer by the end of the round and we can go back to our normal club decision. But on this occasion, I'm just taking a little fairway wood. I always use a forward. Always had a forward in my golf bag since I was 8 years old. Okay, first wood my dad ever bought me. So I feel comfortable with this. Gives me a little bit of loft. I've got confidence with it off the tee and off the ground. I'm really happy to play it. So we're going to play a forward up there, get it to the corner. If we hit a nice shot, should leave us approximately about 120 into the green if we get it right. Yeah, going to be honest, not my best strike, but it's up the fairway. Because of the stripe, probably going to leave myself a little bit more into the green, but that's okay. If I can still get it on the green, get my 4, I'm doing what I'm meant to be doing. So I've arrived at my tee shot on the third hole here, and what have we got left, okay? Now, as I said, I'd want 120 roughly on average. If I get a good one away, I might have 100, 110. Today I've got 148, okay? So again, I see a lot of golfers get a bit frustrated. They haven't hit it where they normally hit it, where they expect to hit it, and they get a bit frustrated. Golf is the challenge of the next shot. So yes, I'm 25, 30 yards back of where I should be, or where I'd like to be, but on this occasion, this is what happened. I told you, I didn't hit it perfect off the tee. The wet ground, the ball hasn't rolled. So I've just got to take into consideration what I've done. It's not far off the number I had on the last hole. So let's just, again, clean my ball, use my preferred lies. So the good thing is I've just played literally 10 minutes ago a lovely mid-iron shot with an 8-iron onto the green to within about 10 feet. Let's do it again. So that's the good thing. I've got a good idea of what I did within the last 10 minutes. So let's grab that club, play a shot. And as you can see, looking down the hole, really pretty hole. We're going down there into the green, going over a pond. There's plenty of green behind that flag. So a solid strike, should be good. A little bit of a downhill lie. So the most important thing I'm going to do here is feel my weight on my left side. So I get the strike of the ball first. If I do that, perfect. Let's see if we can do it. Well, strike's good. Just drawing left of the flag. But as we said on the first hole, if the par of the hole, for me, the distance, everything falls in line with that, then this should be a par 4. It should be approximately 25 feet from the hole. I think I'm going to be around that number. So after 2 shots, I'm doing what I'm meant to do. So that's good, okay? I'm going to turn the video off now, but I'm going to go and replace that divot when I walk down the hole, and I'll see you on the green. So I'm coming up onto the green. Have a look at what we've got. Looks like we're probably a little bit further than 25 feet. Let's pace it out. Let's see what we've got. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13 paces. So we're looking closer to probably 35, 40 feet. So again, I like to give you the data. Let me just repair my pitch mark. I've now gone from, as I said, on the tee box, average of 4 hole. I'm now where I've ended up after 2 shots. I could 3-putt this at my level probably 10% of the time, maybe 15% of the time. So I'm still within that area. It's still in my favour to do what I'm meant to do on that tee box. So all good. I'm happy with that. But let's do a little bit of green reading, okay? So the pond is that side of the green. So generally most holes, if there's a pond there, the water, in a sense, if it started raining, they want the water to run off to the pond. And knowing this hole, it actually runs more towards, as I look at it on the green, it's running much more to the sort of the right side of the pond. There's a little bush there and it runs that way. So for any Corinthian members watching this, on the bottom level, everything runs towards that bush. So I know that's the low point. So if I stand now relative to that, and I think, well, that's 6 o'clock, I'm now at 9 o'clock. This is the biggest breaking putt. How steep is the slope? Well, it's probably average. So at 13 paces, it's going to break probably 2 times 13. It's going to break about 26 inches. That's about 2 foot's worth of break. So I'm looking to get it out here. That's what I'm looking at. I've put the camera in that way to see if I actually achieve it, so I can sort of learn a little bit from my game. Let's go up, have a look at what we've got. Again, in these damp conditions, mark your ball, clean it, because the last thing you want is a little bit of dirt on the club face and it just doesn't come off the face of the club. So do that, remark your ball. And now I'm just going to come back, just confirm that in my mind that I'm happy with that idea. 2 feet. A little bit lucky here. If I'm looking at it, the camera's sitting on a tripod. I'm going to aim at the left-hand leg. Look at that. So I'm going to trust that, and now it's all about my speed on this 35, 40 foot putt. Get this within a couple of feet. Great. If I hole it, bonus. That's just going to drift across. But again, I'm never going to be disappointed with that. I've rolled that down. Tap that in, and you can see now I've played 3 holes and I've had 3 sort of tap-ins from a par. So I'm through those first 3 holes, and what I'm going to say to you now is I've hit some really nice shots. I've hit some really good iron shots, some good putts and chips. So I want that confidence internally to be good. So when I walk to the 4th hole now, if we can get that momentum going, can we maybe make a birdie or something later on in the round? So we've arrived at the 4th hole. It's a 360-yard par 4. It's another hole again as a scratch golfer. My data says it's an average of 4. You're going to see some holes changes a little bit as we go through 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The data changes, and some of those holes are going to be easier for me, and I should be giving myself really good birdie chances, and other holes of par is a really good result. But that sort of 340 to 380 number, even as a scratch golfer, that's a par hole. Now, again, ego has to sort of take a little bit. Summer, I would never hit driver down here. But we're not. We're in November. It's cold. So I like this hole. It's a really pretty hole. The way Rob always seems to stripe the fairways, it's a 10 o'clock dogleg. It goes up, and then at 10 o'clock it doglegs into the trees. And you'll see with the second shot, really pretty hole, especially this time of year. The leaves have changed colour. It's a great, great hole. So for me, I'm going to hit driver up here. But because I don't want to hit it probably fully, what I do, if I want to take a little bit of power out of the shot, I don't try and swing it softer. I just grip a little bit down the club. So I still think if I really got a really good drive away, I might end up running into trouble. I'm going to grip down the club, but have the same level of commitment through the shot. Okay, we're going up middle to right side of the fairway up here, because again, it opens the hole up going into the green. So just gripping that inch down the club, and then just nice commitment, strike through it. Okay, just hope I've hit that really well. Yeah, that's fine. It's one of those ones when you hit it and you know it could be too much club, you think, have I gone too far? No, the conditions stopped it. That should leave me now, again, that mid-iron into the green, probably an 8, 7 iron, and I'm doing what I'm meant to do. I'm getting it around that 130 number, maybe a little bit more than that in these conditions. And if I can knock it on the green, 2-putt, I'll take my par. So I got to my second shot. I've hit another fairway, and if I'm honest, this is my strength. I was brought up in the Faldo era, hit fairways, hit greens. So for me, I'm not the longest hitter, but I keep that ball going down the fairway. And especially this time of year, it's wet grass. You want to be on that fairway. You want to prefer that lie. You want to clean your ball. It makes it so much easier to play your game. So again, not the longest tee shot. As we said, what was it? 360 off the tee was the length of the hole. It's an average par 4 for my level. And I've got 133 going in. So I've only hit that 230, but because I'm in the middle of the fairway, that's fine. Okay, I've gone from 4, probably from here now, it's a 3.1 shot from here. So I've probably, by not hitting it as long as I probably could for my level, I've lost approximately 0.1 of a shot, but it's still 90% chance I'm going to par it. So this is the thing. So mentally, I'm walking up, I'm still okay. All right, again, do our normal thing. Put that tee in, clean the ball. And you can see, looking at that hole, what a pretty hole. We go into these trees, and we're looking at it, and I know already from now hitting 3 or 4 shots into the greens, the ball isn't rolling anywhere. So we're looking at that number. I need a club that's going to get me all the way to the hole because it's going to stop. And I've done that quite nicely. So looking at the last few holes, again, par 3, I hit a lovely iron shot, just hit a good one into the 3rd. I'm going to have that confidence. I'm going to stick with my 8 iron again. I think that's the right club because although that's a little bit less distance, does always tend to play a little bit uphill this hole. Doesn't look like it should, but it does. And this time of year, the greens are not that quick. So although this slopes quite a bit from back to front, it's not going to be that quick a putt coming back down the hill. So I don't mind if I go past the hole. I'd rather have a 20-footer coming down the hill than a chip. So let's commit to the idea. Get that ball on the green, give myself another birdie opportunity, see if we can take one. Well, I struck it nicely, it's online. Well, it's always a little bit uncertain, but that looks like it's about a foot from the hole. But I think it's a little bit past the hole. But I'm really happy with that. Let's grab that divot, put that back into the ground. If I'm honest from experience, I think we're probably about 8-10 feet past the hole. So at the moment, we're having a great day with my irons. Really happy with these. So the good thing is keep that confidence going. Keep that internal encouragement to keep saying, look, keep it going. Because we're playing 9 holes. In 9 holes, okay, I'm out here for a good couple of hours. What can happen is you've got to keep that momentum going. So internally, I'm telling myself, I'm geeing myself up, always encouraging myself. And that's an important thing. So really happy with that. Let's hope it is a foot from the hole, but it might be a little bit further. Let's go and have a look. So I've arrived at the green. I've already repaired my pitch mark because it's actually near the camera. And on this occasion, it got quite a firm bounce, but that's got me up within about 7 feet of the hole. So I'm really happy. Just to make it a little bit clear, I'm just going to take the flag out on this one. And if you've watched some of my videos before, we're on the green where I did my no more 3 putts, and we talked about the water. So if you filled that hole up with water and it started overflowing, where would that water run? And this is an idea I want you to look at. So we're looking at the shot here. And again, if you enjoyed that video or you haven't seen it, go and watch it. And if you enjoyed it, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And the low point is running down here. So this is the sort of what I'd call the 6 o'clock position. I'm going to be coming from 1 o'clock. So the ball's going to try and make its way towards me. That means it's going to turn from right to left, okay? Because I'm at 1 o'clock, which is not far off the straight putt, if I was directly above the 6 o'clock, 12 o'clock would be a straight putt. This has to be right to left, but it's not particularly long. So I'm going to aim about a hole to the right. Okay, let's see if we can take advantage of that birdie opportunity, that great shot we played into the green, and see if we can get to 1 under through 4 holes. Got a chance. Yep, good. Okay, so because I use my water idea, and again, as I said, go and watch that video, I realized the ball's going to go that way. I trusted it. I hit it out there. And as I said, we've hit 3 really nice iron shots into the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. We've taken the opportunity we won. At this point, and that sounds strange when I say, I should be 0.1 over par, and I'm 1 under par. So I'm a complete shot ahead of where I should be. The next 2 holes are a little bit trickier. These are holes that on average, I'm probably going to bogey 20% of the time, even as a scratch golfer. So they're holes that are well over 400 yards. They're the holes that, yeah, if I can par them, get through those 2 holes, let's see if we can keep this score going. But we're 1 under. Let's see if we can keep that momentum going. So we've come to the 5th hole, Corinthians. We've just made a nice birdie on the 4th. And again, I want that belief and confidence in myself to just keep building because I'm playing some really nice golf. So you'll get days where it works really well, days where it's not quite happening. When you have a good day, keep it going. Okay, we're now looking at a over 400 yard hole. As I said, this is a hole I'm probably going to bogey 20% of the time. Still an 80% chance of parring, but I could bogey the hole on that side. And it's quite a strange dogleg, this one. It's a sort of 50-50 hole. It's a sort, as I said, you've got to hit it just around 200, and then you're going to have 200 in. So it's really 2 good shots. Okay, we're sort of looking at it now. We're about an hour into our game. and it seems to be warming up a little bit. So now I'm going back to my normal club. I'd probably, if this had been the first hole, I'd have hit my fairway wood. I'm going to hit my hybrid. I'm going back. So again, this is just experience. As you play more and more, work out what you can do. So we're looking for that shot, see if we can hit that fairway again. So important on a day like today where it's a bit damp. Keep the ball in play. But whatever happens, commit to the shot. Hit a nice one of these. Little draw, which is my natural shape. Might take me a little bit round the corner. So happy with that. Again, done it now probably with all my tee shots today, apart from the last hole. Haven't quite come out the middle of the club, and that's probably cost me a few yards, but I'm in the fairway. I've got a chance. That's all I want to do. Let's go play the second. Really happy with my drive. I've probably put it where I normally would be in the summer, and just looking down the hole, they put the flag right at the back. Just behind where the camera is the 200-yard marker in the middle of the fairway, and I'm quite a way ahead of that. So you think, oh, that's fine. And then when I take the reading to the hole, it's 204 yards. But because we're going downhill, it's playing about 180, okay? So really important that you sort of understand how the ground and that can affect your shot. So 180 for me in these conditions. Again, I'm not taking it that we're up to full temperature yet, that physically from there, I'm probably going to think that, yeah, I want to hit a good solid 5-iron down that hill. Okay, I'll be happy with that. If I can do that, get it on the green. The way the green sits, it sort of runs down onto green, but then it sits back into itself. So I know that if I get it towards the back of the green, it's not going to run that far. So let's hit a nice solid 5-iron down there. And again, we've hit some really good iron shots. So all I'm thinking now, what I've done really well with those so far is the rhythm and the tempo is lovely. So I'm just looking to feel that, can I keep that throughout the shot? Again, a little bit like the third hole, a little bit downhill, so I'm just going to feel a little bit more weight on my left side. And then just keep that rhythm and tempo. And let's get that ball, hit it the green, and we're gaining a little bit then. Well, it's going to be on the green, but I think I'm going to be on the left-hand side. Yeah, it was the right, well, just died. But actually, I'm probably where I should be after 2 shots. Remember we said it's a 4.2 hole. So just racking my brain, 25 feet is my average 2-putt. If I go roughly every 10 feet, I'm going to 10% chance that I'm going to now 3-putt it from that position. So at this point, I'm probably looking down there. I probably am about 50 feet away, which is about right. So I shouldn't be walking down there. I might be a little bit disappointed with that shot and it didn't work out as well as I'd like, but I'm about where I should be after 2 shots. So again, internally, I'm not beating myself up. I'm thinking there's still an 80% chance you're going to get your par. So all good. So I've come up onto the green, and I always read my putts as we talk about that water idea on the last green. I always read my putts from the hole back to the ball. And what I'm trying to find out at the hole, where that water's going to go. It's not as steep as the last green, but I feel the water's going to run down this way. Okay, so I look at that again, and I'm probably coming from near enough the maximum break, but the slope of the green isn't so steep. So that's quite an important thing to understand. So it's not going to break as much as everybody thinks. But as we said on one of my previous putts, one of the most important things people don't do, they don't read what we call, they read what we call the apex of the putt, and they don't allow enough break. So I'd say this is an average slope of green. Let's see how far I ended up away from the hole, and on average what I would do from there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 22 paces to my ball. And what we're looking at then, 22 paces, I roughly say my pace about 2.5 feet. So we're looking 55 feet. We said 25 feet was my average 2-putt, and now we've gone 30 feet further away. So I'm probably going to 3-putt this a third of the time. So I'm probably at this point, remember what we said at the start of the hole, it was a 4.2 hole. It's now become a 4.3 hole. So I'm just slightly worse off than average, but it's okay. It's still in my favour. There's still a 2/3 chance I'm going to get this down in 2. So we had 22 paces. We said it was an average 2% slope. So I'm just going to times those 2 numbers together, and I think I'm coming from the maximum break. So that's an easy way to work out. So this is going to break approximately just over 40 inches from left to right. So we're talking a good putter's length and a bit more, putter's length and a grip, left of the hole. On this putt, it's trusting that line, committing to it, because there's quite a bit of break there, but it's getting the speed right. Okay, so let's see what we can do. If we can roll this up, what would be a par putt? If I then had a third chance of holing the next one, we're probably looking around about 4 feet. So if I get this 4 feet or less, that's a good putt. I like the line and I like the weight. Okay, well, something's happening today. My putting distance control is really, really good. We've got that within probably 15, 18 inches. And we're back now to where we should be. And if we can nick a par from there, which we have done, we've now gained 0.2 of a shot. So at this point, I should probably, maybe a third of the time I'd be 1 over par at this time. 2/3 of the time I'd be level. Today I'm actually 1 under. Okay, we're going to go and play the long 6th hole next. So we're on the 6th hole. It's a 412 yard par 4. It's another 4.2 hole. It's a hole I'm going to bogey 20% of the time and par 80% of the time. So it's still in my favour to make the par, but every now and again I will make a bogey. So I'm okay with that. We're in good feeling at the moment. We're 1 under par at this point, and we've just got down in 2 putts from 55 feet. So you've got to use that momentum. Keep it going. Okay, this is a nice hole. We've shown this one before. We've used it on other videos, like how to hit more fairways. And it's a hole that goes down. It doglegs again to the left, and we've got a pond on the left side. Now, we use this idea in that distance there. There's some houses. Make that target small. Watch that video, and it makes the fairway big. And I always use that idea. Try and keep that idea similar, consistent all the time. Trust it. Let's see if we can hit another fairway. Well, that's probably my best drive of the day. And it's just working out today that if I keep hitting it like that, I'm going to leave myself these mid-irons in, and I'm giving myself chances. So again, keep encouraging yourself. You'll get bored of me saying it, but that's what I try and get my golfers to do. It's very easy to start getting a little bit worried about your game. Don't. I haven't talked about technique at all once yet. I'm just playing golf. So a situation a little bit like we had on the 3rd hole, where I've hit what I thought was a decent drive, felt really happy with that, and it's not gone as far as we want. And again, a lot of it is the conditions. You can see from the ground, all the dew on the ground. There's a sort of misty rain overnight. It's just not getting the roll that you'd expect. So that's okay. And that's what you got to do. You got to look at it as the challenge of the next shot, rather than, oh, I should be further up the hole. Because again, if you're thinking of it as the challenge, it keeps you focused on the now and focusing on the shot you're going to play. So really important, as we said, with this dewy ground, wet ground, clean the ball. We've got that chance on the fairway. And while we're doing that, just get a reading what we've got. And again, although the sun now, you can see it's starting to brighten up a little bit, we're in a situation where it's still not that warm. So got to make sure I'm taking enough club here to get there. Okay, let's get rid of that bit of mud. Okay, and we've got 152 into that green. So it's sort of part of me looking at it and thinking, well, there's a bit of green behind that. Shall I hit one more? Shall I hit a 7 in there instead of an 8? Because I feel I'd rather be past the flag than short. You can see all the troubles at the front. We've got the water there. Okay, so I'm going to hit that one more club than I've been hitting all day from that sort of distance. And I've been striking it well, and I'll back myself that the ball will stop. Okay, so again, just trust yourself. Nice positive swing. Commit to what you can do. Well, if I got my normal little draw, I mean, you don't get many days like this. Again, I'm right by the flag. I'm having a good day. So it's one of those things, when it's going well, keep going. Okay, I think there again, we're inside 10 feet, another good chance of a birdie. Remember, this was a 4.2 hole. This is a hole, on average, I'm going to bogey 20% of the time. I've given myself a really good opportunity now. Let's replace that divot, to make a birdie and get through these holes where, on average, 50% of the time through 6 holes here, I'd be par. 50% of the time I'd be 1 over. I could be 2 under. So I'm having a really nice day today. Let's keep that momentum going. Well, not a lot to say on this one. Okay, let's just repair that pitch mark. As I said, when I hit it, thought it was good. Didn't expect it to be this good, but we just got a little tap in, and we've gained a complete shot on this hole. Another birdie. Nothing to say. Let's go play the 7th. So we're through 6 holes. We're a couple under par. Really going nicely today. We'll now come to the 7th hole, par 5. Basically bang on 500 yards. So this is a hole, again, as a scratch golfer, just to give you an idea, I should birdie this 10% of the time and par at the other 90%. So it's still a 90% par. And for a scratch golfer, that number on the holes is always going to tend to favour the par. You're going to be 80, 90% par. One hole here today, because it is quite a short par 4, you'll see the data go the other way. So for me, make a par here, good. It's a par 5. So if we can get a good tee shot away, does that give us a chance to get up near the green? So again, just to give you an idea, if I was within 80 to 100 yards after 2 shots, that's about where I should be. And if I can do that, definitely today, confidence is high, I'm hitting my irons nicely. Can I now get out of here with maybe another birdie? So that's the goal. I want to give myself that sort of chance of be around that 100-yard mark. You'll see as we go down the hole, it's a dog leg. You can see from the tee box here, it's quite a tight looking tee shot, but it opens up once you get around about 160 yards down the hole. And then the second shot, depending on where I end up, is whether I can go for the green or do I have to just play down to the corner, which would be around that 100-yard mark. Okay, let's give that drive a go. Well, I'm straight down the fairway. Don't think I've hit it my best shot, so I might have to lay out. I don't think I can go for the green, but we'll have a look when we get down there. But we're okay with that. As long as I'm on the fairway, I can get it down to the corner, around that 100-yard mark, I'm doing what I'm meant to do. So I've wandered down here from a tee shot. It must have hit a little bit of a downslope because it's run down here a little bit further than I thought. And as I said on the tee, I didn't think I could probably go for the green. But you can see what this hole creates. The flag is behind those trees. And what I see with a lot of the members here is they'll look at it and think I can get over those trees. But I've still got to get to that green 190 yards. Okay? And unless you can really carry that ball around about, especially this time of year, 180, 190, you're not going to hit the green. And you've got to get the ball up and over the trees. So I see a lot of golfers sort of plough this into the trees. And what was after a reasonable tee shot, a really good tee shot, they walk off here with a 7 or an 8. Now, after saying that, I am a professional golfer and I'm having a good day. So it would be silly not to have a go. I've ended up further down here. I was mentally thinking I was probably just going to knock a mid-iron down to the corner, but I've got a chance. And I can prefer the lie, and I'm on a really nice piece of grass here. So I'm looking at that, and everything's sort of slightly in my favour. But I'm going to take plenty of club. Again, I see a lot of golfers here will take a 7-iron and it will look good and it will clatter the trees and drop down. For me, I want to get there, okay? And I know the way I hit it, my little hybrid will go probably 200, but I know the way it's designed, it will get into the bottom of the ball and it will get me over those trees. So I know I can make a really smooth swing off this lie and I've got enough club to get there. So we're playing well. Let's take on the challenge of the shot. Let's see if we can do it. Oh, just slightly pulled it. Yeah, it was the right club. Just missed the green. But remember what I said on the tee box. If I was within 100 yards of the green, I'm doing what I'm doing. I'm now probably within 10 yards of the green. I've gone from probably a chance of making a 5 on the tee box to now 50% chance I can get out here with a birdie. And the way I'm playing at the moment, the confidence is high. Let's see if we can do it. So I've arrived at my second shot, as I said, just slightly pulled it. I'm perfect distance, so I'm really happy with that. I've got the right club. We're in the rough, so it's not great. So again, we'll just give you some data to what we've got here. This is probably, again, for a scratch golfer, I'm now back to being on terms of being down in par here for now. This is probably an average of 3 shot. If I was on the fairway and had a nice shot, it's probably a 50-50 chance I'd get down in 2 and down in 3. Now it's back up to an average of 3. You can see from the lie that we've shown you, it's not great, but could be worse. And what have we got? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, roughly 10 paces to get to this top of this ridge. And we're just going to play. I'm going to think about my two-step rule. Again, another one of my videos. Have a look at it, please do. And again, if you're enjoying it, subscribe to my channel. And what we're looking at here, I want to get it a couple of paces onto the green. Why? The putting green is the best surface. And what have I got left? I've still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 paces. So we're looking still 20 feet from where I'm looking to land it. So what can I do? I'm a little bit below the green. That means I want a little bit more height than normal. Okay, another one of my videos you can have a look at. And so I need to do that, but I've got the limbs of the tree. So I've got to be clever here. I don't want to go too high, because if I hit the tree and it drops down, I'm not on the green. So what would I take? 20 feet away, 2 putts, I'll get my 5. That's what I should have done on the tee. It's just deep down, could be that little bit of frustration, thinking, wow, I hit such a good tee shot. Have I taken advantage of it? But it's one of those days at the moment. Things are going nicely. Maybe we can still get this up and down. I'm going to play my gap wedge from there. I think that'll keep it under the trees. And also, I think I get enough time to stop it. Now, it's sitting down a little bit in the grass. So I want to make sure I'm striking down on the ball. That's the most important thing. And if it goes past the flag, you might lose this a little bit in the camera shot, and it might go up more towards the camera, which is about 15 to 18 feet past the flag. I'm okay with that. Most important thing, get it on the green. Don't try and be too greedy. The more I look at it now, I think I should go a little bit lower. It's amazing how you get over a shot and the lie. I'm going to still play my gap wedge, but I'm going to play a little bit back in my stance. And I am going to go away from my two-step rule. I don't think I can stop this too much. So I'm going to land it just short of the green. But because the trajectory, I'd expect it to skip up. So sometimes you get over the ball, all good intentions, and then you suddenly change that. But as long as you change it and commit to it, that's fine. So back foot, pop it to the front edge of the green, and then that trajectory, it should skip up to the flag. Okay, so from that lie, I've put it inside 10 feet. I'm happy with that. And again, I know you sort of look at my things and we talk a lot about the data, is where am I now relative to that? So this is probably, I know people look at this, but watch the tournaments on TV, and it's the one thing they show a lot is the average percentage that these guys will hole these putts. Now for a tour player, 8 feet is his 50-50 putt. Okay, and I'm about 8 feet, but I'm not a tour player. I'm a club professional, okay? I'm a scratch golfer. So amazingly, this goes out now that I'm probably going to hole this probably a quarter of the time. Okay, that's why he's earning a lot of money and I'm out here teaching. Okay, so that's the difference there. So again, if I hole it, it's a bonus, okay, because it's slightly against me, the odds that I'm going to do it. But I've got a chance, okay? I'm playing well. I'm really confident in what I'm doing. Look at it. This is a green that doesn't break a lot. I'm just reading this as probably right lip. I think the water's just going to run this way slightly. Let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can go 3 under par. Having a good day. Oh, David, hit it. Okay, so that's the most frustrating shot in golf, I think. One more roll and we'd be 3 under. But we've got a par. So it's one of those holes where the emotions are going up and down. I've hit a really nice tee shot. I didn't quite take advantage with the second shot. The third shot, though, I got myself back into play. And if I just hit that putt a little bit harder, I'd be 3 under. But I'm still 2 under. Okay, if somebody said to me, you guarantee you're going to make a 5 down that hole, I'd take it. Now we're going to go and play a hole, which is only 240-yard par 4 here at Corinthians because of the way it's set up. It's a hole for me that I should birdie it more than I should par it. It's the only hole on the golf course that should be the case. Let's go and play that 8th hole. So the 8th hole here at Corinthians is just a 240-yard par 4. And as I said when I walked off the last green, that on average, this is a hole I should birdie 60% of the time, and I should par it around about 40%. It's a 3.4 hole, okay? So, but the plus side is if I look at my round, I'm 2 under par at the moment. I should be approximately, as we said, about half a shot over par on average. So I should be coming to this hole half the time level par, half the time around about 1 over. and I'm 2 under. So I'm having a good day. Now the hole sort of sets up, and it's a weird sort of hole really, because it's not a long hole, but it is a blind hole. You're sort of having to play over trees if you want to go for the green. There is a marker up there in the distance. Perfect shot if you can hit it is a little fade, just following the hole, because the fairway kicks left to right down to the hole, okay? Again, we're seeing the shots quite clearly today. So we're going to take that shot on. And the nice thing is, if I hit a little bit of a fade, it will take a little bit of distance off the ball. So I'd normally be hitting my driver 260, maybe 250 in these conditions. I can sort of feel like, yeah, hit the fade, it might end around about that 240, 250. So I'll be on the green. So we're hitting it well. We're just going to see the shot, play the shot. Let's see if we can get it up and around that green. Well, I've got the shape. That's a big old fade on that, big old slice. But yeah, all on the bounce. It's following the hole. Can't see it from here because, as I said, it's a blind shot. I'll be pretty confident we've maybe knocked that on the green. And if we can get it to 25 feet, 2-putt it, we've done what we're meant to do. We're meant to birdie this a little bit more than average. Let's see if we can have that chance. But it's all down to the bounce. We'll go and have a look. So I've got up to the green, and you can see I've just come up short of the green. And then we're just going through my data, 3.4 hole. I've probably now, I'm on a 50-50 chance that I'm going to hold this putt. Again, prefer the lie. Get rid of any of that dirt on the ball. You can get it this time of year, especially in the UK. Increase the chance that you're going to play that shot correctly. Okay, now, looking at it, what have I got here? We've got 50-50 shot. It's a 50% rough stroke fairway, but it's winter. It's not great. And we've got 50% lovely green. Okay, and my rule always, if I can do it, I know we didn't do it on the last because of the shot, I want to land it on the green. So I want to get over this ridge. I mean, if this was probably July and the ground was a little bit better, I'd probably putt this. And you can see earlier on I've had some good long putts running up nicely, so I'd probably play that shot. Okay, so what am I going to do? I'm going to do my 2-step rule. I'm going to land it 2 steps on. And because I haven't got a lot of green, I'm going with loft. So I'm actually using my lob wedge here. Okay, that's me. That's what I feel comfortable with. If you don't and you feel you want to run it down there with an 8 or a 9 iron, that's your shot. Just playing a lob wedge. And I want to land it 2 paces on. Don't think it's going to do a lot. I think it's a straight shot. Straight at the hole. And we've got that ball nicely there within a couple of feet. I'll take that. Grab my putter. And again, another one of my sort of videos that we've looked at is when you get inside 3 feet, unless there's a tremendous amount of break, don't get outside the hole. Keep it inside the hole. So the nice thing, I think, sometimes what you get is you get the flagstick now in the hole. Just aim straight at the flagstick. From there, ball's nice and clean. Knock that in. Got my birdie, got my 3. So really, really good. And as I said, on the tee, that was a 3.4 hole. Just made a 3. We've gained 0.4 of a shot. So at this point, I probably should be, if we add up all the holes, I should be on average about 20% of the time, I should be around about one under par at this point. I'm 3 under. 80% of the time, I should be level par. Okay, we're going to play the last hole, the 9th hole here. It's a 370-yard par 4. It's an average 4 hole. So if we can get out there with my average score, par 37, we'll have a 34 today. Be really happy with that. So we've come to the 9th hole. It's my final hole of my 9 holes with the Resourceful coach, and 370-yard hole. Par 4 should be, again, data driven. Everything in my mind is saying, look, par here is good. So let's get it up there. Dog leg hit this hole, slightly dog legs round to the right. But the distance there's a little bit similar to, for me, the 4th hole. Summer I'd probably hit a fairway wood, but in the winter I'm going to hit driver because I'm not going to get the roll. All uphill, so it plays probably closer to 400 yards, but all my data is driven by the distances. Okay, so straight up the fairway, if we can do that, give ourselves an iron into the green. So like the last one, not quite such a big fade. So it'll fade off the tee there, just follow the hole. And we should be around about that 150-60 mark into the green, as I said, because it's uphill, tends to play a little bit longer than it suggests. But really happy with that. We're in the fairway. Let's see if we can finish this round off. So I'm really happy. Another fairway hit. May not be the longest of tee shots, but I'm in the fairway. Let's get a distance to the hole. And as we said, we're looking at a hole where if we can par it on average, pretty much every time we're doing what we're meant to do. We've got a 156, but what's interesting, which you can't feel, we've gone from a really sort of misty start and a little bit of dampness in the air. It warmed up a bit, and now we're getting to the end here, and it feels like it's getting colder again. Okay, and all right, I've had to video these shots, and it has taken me, what are we looking at, about 2.5 hours to play this round. But you can see in that 2.5 hours, the conditions have changed throughout. Okay, now I've got 156, but it's all uphill. It's 160. And that should be a 7-iron, but you're going to probably be surprised what I'm going to hit out. I know that flag is right at the front of the green, and this is the longest green on the golf course. It's around about 100 feet long. And as I said earlier, even if I go past the flag, it's a slight downhill putt. It's not going to be a problem because it's not that fast at the moment. We're in November in the UK. The greens are not that quick. And again, with the conditions we've got. So I'm going to hit a 5-iron here. And people look at that and go, wow, that's way too much club. But I just feel that will guarantee I'll get there. The one thing I don't want to feel is I'm trying to force the shot. So again, you've got to sort of go with your gut feeling. A bit like the couple of chips on the last 2 holes. Sort of looked at it, felt like I wanted to hit it low, and then the other one I wanted to go high. So sometimes you just feel what you sense is the right thing at the time. So we're going to hit a 5-iron up here. Again, from my experience and these conditions, if it stayed a bit warmer, I'd have hit a 6. And the sensible play here is just up the left side of the green. Everything here falls away to the right. So just happens to be where the greenkeeper's come out to wash his mower. There's a hose pipe just behind the green. I'm going to aim straight at that. Well, that's the line. I felt the strike was good. And we're on the green. So the decision to make that shot, and amazingly, that landed just on the very front of the green. It didn't land way past the flag. And that, again, I think it's because of conditions. It's so much colder all of a sudden. It's probably dropped about 5 degrees in the last 20 minutes. So that affects your golf ball. So look at those things. If things are changing and as you evolve your game, realize these things can happen. Okay, got an outside chance of a birdie. Let's see if we can finish it off. Be really happy if we can finish 4 under. So arrived at the green. I've hit the green, which is good. Okay, let's look at our data. So we'll just mark that while I go up and clean the ball as I'm walking up. 25 feet would be our number. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and we're probably nearer 30 feet. Okay, so that's okay. All right, it's just giving me the chance that I could 3-putt it, but 30 feet shouldn't be an issue. But what's interesting to look at, remember what I did down the fairway? I've taken that 5-iron up onto the green, and I'm probably that 12 paces short of the flag. I could have even hit a 4-iron in those conditions. Okay, but I'm happy with the shot that I got. I'm happy with that result. I read my putts always from the hole back, and I think it's a funny hole this, because everything looks like it should fall that way to that bank. I actually think the ball rolls. If I was walking down it, it feels like the slope's throwing me down this way. So relative to my marker, I'd probably read this normally right to left because of that, but actually now getting onto the green, I think it's actually going to move maybe slightly left to right, but not a lot. It's a pretty straight putt. I'm pretty close to where I want to be on that side. Okay, so again, it's a putt. If I 2-putt it, get out of here with that, I'll be very, very happy. Let's just go through that process routine, stick to it. I'm going to aim left lip. I don't think this is going to do a lot. I think I'm pretty close to the line there. Let's see what we get. Come on, nice smooth stroke. Get it up next to the hole. Whether it's got the legs, David. God, another one. Oh, had about 2 or 3 of them right in the jaws. Not got it there, but we're within 18 inches. Concentrate on this. Knock it in. And we've got a par. So it's a par 37. We've just played it in 34. And when I look at all the data and we add it all up, it's a course that I probably should take 37 shots. So really, really happy with that score. But What I hope you've seen is I'm not trying to hit that ball miles as a scratch golfer. I'm keeping that ball in play. I'm keeping it simple. You've seen myself in some positions where I had to chip out of sort of rough by the trees, and I've been in positions that I've been in great shape. But the key thing is you just play each shot for what it is, and that's the fun of it. Today it worked out brilliantly. We shoot 3 under. Another day I could come out and shoot 3 over, and that's the fun of golf. Okay, as we mentioned before in one of my other videos, as a handicap golfer, you're probably only going to play 25% of your rounds to or better than your handicap. On average, 75% will be worse. Think about it. If you're putting in 20 rounds every year, look what you get. Today was a good day. It was one of those 15% that was better than normal. Take it, enjoy it, and I hope you enjoyed me watching, playing it. And if you did, subscribe to my YouTube channel and watch some of those videos we've mentioned earlier on in the clips we've gone through today. I look forward to seeing you soon.